So we are now checking out the first. We'll check out the live action trailer. It's just like a 5-minute short film.
Yeah.
And yeah. I forgot to screen share it to the Discord once. So let me just do that real
I was about
quick.
to say.
I was waiting for you to do that, Ultra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
There we go.
Alright, let me just make sure I have everything. Remove my window. Alright, here we go.
Alpha Road, this is Oversight. The road is clear.
The grimy street. Sounds about right.
It says New York, I think.
Yep.
No, this.
Yeah, game take place in New York. Are we going to get like a sequel to Captain Winters here?
So that's our new bank. I saw the logo. And oh, Gensec is back! Yay!
Let's
go.
Our
Yeah.
friends.
Mm-hmm.
That bag wasn't there before.
You're right.
I wonder.
Alright, Ramblers.
Oh, they have the actual camera layout too.
Man,
Yeah, I like that camera layout.
reminds me of the bank scene from
Bro, nothing sketchy here.
Motherfuckers, this is a robbery!
Thank you, Wolf.
yes.
Why?
Hey, they're my man, Chain.
Chains,
Oh,
my
Damn,
boy.
Chains.
Flowers.
Oh, okay, I like the base for getting the phone.
You can always tell
Oh
who
my
Wolf
God.
is, because bam, Wolf is balling.
Yeah.
It's not.
Of course, it's not your money. My son wants his right!
Oh, I hope we can do that to the mask on them.
That would be interesting.
Would be.
Don't mind if
I can't. Oh yeah, you want
Don't
me to
mind if
fucking
I do.
make you?
Dude.
Mm-hmm.
Hold up,
Oh, there's Hoxton.
Yeah, he was the one with putting the phones in the water.
Are we going to get like another?
Granny said I can get rich too.
Oh, come on. Is this the introduction of an old lady heister? Give me an old lady heister.
That would be funny as hell. Grandma just.
Man.
Grandma's like, yo, there's hundreds.
Oh.
Your money, honey.
Not your money.
Oh,
honey.
money,
Damn.
honey.
I love you, Hawks.
There's Wolf turning. Oh, God damn it. Not a new thermal drill.
You know what? Let's hope it's better.
Yo, is this
No,
Jimmy?
Wait,
gonna
is
be
that?
Is that Jimmy?
It looked like Jimmy from.
I don't.
Let's move.
Jimmy's late to the robbery. Or Jimmy went straight. Nah, Jimmy's late.
Jimmy would never go straight. Come on now. We all know.
Dude, the way he is just walking, he strutting down there, dude.
Okay.
No, some must have been just a bank employee then.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, guys coming in though.
HRT, we got canaries on the scene.
Oh.
Die pack. Oof.
They
Let's
know
move,
their
boys.
shit.
Yeah.
Is that a mechanic I'm gonna have to deal with?
Yes,
Mm.
Probably.
there's actually dyed money you have to worry
Oh
about.
wow.
Like if the disabled
Hey,
packs
whoa.
in.
There's definitely gonna be perks for that.
Get down!
Yeah.
Okay. Mm.
Oh.
No.
Oh. Oh no, Wolf is bleeding.
Nothing new for Wolf. Wolf can do it.
No, but that money's gonna
Oh,
spend on
okay.
it. That actually be a mechanics.
Oh, okay, a smoke grenade.
Well, we gotta remember this is the live action shit. This is not like
Yeah.
in-game stuff.
You never know. Sometimes live action has in-game stuff.
I only know the dye packs that I saw it in the collision.
Oh,
my
yeah.
god.
The hostages I know is a thing you can do.
The meat
And that-
shields.
Yeah,
Dude, that SWAT just capped that hostage.
that's fucked up.
You can't leave bloody money on the floor.
No, that could be a thing. Bloody
That's
money on
DNA
the-
evidence, man.
Yeah.
Man, dude, that's gonna be a cleaner cost.
Oh, he's going to go for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Me.
cannot leave the bloody money behind.
You
No.
and I
Swap
see
that
30
shit.
cents on the floor.
Can you escape, man?
Nice.
Yeah, lovely.
And there's
It's payday, motherfuckers.
Is that?
Yes.
you already know who it is. You don't
Also.
even need to ask the question.
That is so cool. So is he a heister with us? Is he a contractor?
I think he's a contractor, right?
No,
The mo-
man, have him be a heister.
The most likely thing that they're probably gonna do is either he's gonna be the new Bane or he's probably gonna be like, a contractor.
Either one of those. But come on,
Well, we do got, I think 2 new. I think one of them is actually as a returning heister, but I think you'll see in this trailer.
Earl and Joy.
I think Pearl's the new
Joy's
one.
nice. Earl will be new.
Yeah.
Ah.
Though I think Joy has a revamp where they made her look pretty.
Cameras. I'm in.
This implies she was ugly in the first game.
I got the hack
Yes.
running.
I think all the models were in the first game.
Ooh, that shotgun sounds chunky. I'm sorry, was that EMP shells?
I think so.
No.
we
Phasers
can
have a thing, if
actually-
you shoot them, they'll do the shocky AoE.
I was
So,
about
yeah.
to say, if you literally decide to fucking do that shit, there's something that's supposed to counter.
Oh,
Yeah.
Go to the dev diaries.
And then, a
It's
light
payday.
bulb switched in my head, and I was like, yes, that's exactly it.
Thank you, Omar.
Hello, Eisters.
And welcome to the Payday 3 Developer Diaries.
We're
Didn't we
very
roast her
excited
already
to
once?
finally be able to share some
Yeah,
details around
but I
Payday
figured
3
you'd
and to give you a
rewatch
peek
it.
behind our curtains
Yeah.
as we talk
Nothing wrong
about
with it.
some of the highlights
Payday
and
devs, if you're
challenges
watching,
we
I'm
faced
sorry,
during the
but please,
making
you
of
do
Payday
not need
3.
to smile 24/7.
We've put together multiple episodes with the help of
I want
several
Payday
members
devs,
of the Payday
please
development
put
team.
Almost
And in
Toast
these
back in the
episodes,
game
we'll
as
give
a loot
everyone
item.
a chance to say more
Yeah,
on
I
the
wanted a
individual
mask again.
responsibility and passion to see how it has
Yes,
been
Almost
applied
beards,
in the
yes.
making of Payday 3.
Yeah, no, he had an
We hope
actual
you'll
mask in
find these
game.
developer diaries both interesting
it's
and
great.
enlightening, and that will manage to quench some of your curiosity
I'm a
and
part of the
desire
heist.
for more information.
Today's video is the first in the series.
You know what? Give us
and
a
it's
heist
set
in
to
Starbreeze
serve as an
Studios.
introduction to Payday 3,
Yeah.
where we discuss
That'd
some
be good.
key topics around
We
what
have to
players
steal the
recognize
Payday 4
from
beta.
the Payday you already know,
Yeah.
as well as what will set it apart as a separate and unique experience. Without further ado, let's go.
Well, Payday devs,
I
yeah,
think a
have
lot
that
of
be a
Payday
heist.
2 players
We're
are gonna
breaking
go
into
like, oh, so
Starbreeze
this is exactly
because
how I do it.
they are
But
recreating
we'll
our
also notice
heist
that
as
there
a
are
game,
a lot of small
and we gotta go steal it
features
before they
that
launch it.
somehow affect
So
the
we
game
can sell it instead.
and makes it into a completely different thing.
I don't know if they're going to be like
than
too
Payday
wacky
2.
for now. Probably later on, but yeah.
I think the biggest change from Payday 2 to Payday 3 is just generally how the heist experience has evolved. My name is Andreas and I work as a producer on Payday 3. In Payday 2 you have stealth and then you have loud, which is pretty binary. And that's
Yes.
something that we really wanted to flesh out and evolve.
There was
So
only 2.
in Payday 3 you have stealth
And
and then you have
I-
something that we call search, which essentially is guards are looking for you and they're suspicious. And then you
So
have
that's the
something really
third
interesting,
method.
which is called negotiation. So first responders arrive to the scene, and if you have hostages, you can start trading them to buy time before the cops get in.
I
Or
hope-
you
I hope
can
it's a
save
better
the hostages
trading
for
system,
later because
honestly.
you can trade them for resources.
I don't know. I
So
wasn't a
the
fan of
Payday
the
gang
whole
has
waiting.
moved from Washington
Later was I.
DC to New
Yeah.
York City, and a big reason for
I just
that
wanna be able
is
to
because
chuck 'em
New York
right out.
is just the capital of capitalism. Heisting with
I
your
don't think you'll be able
friends
to
and
kill the
having all those
hostage right
skyscrapers
after,
around you, the yellow cabs, more pedestrians.
You'll
Probably
Pro.
not.
That's just a very important
I'll probably
piece
fix
in
that.
elevating the experience in general.
There is a ton of stuff, right, that makes New York the place to be. But more so, it's tied to the story and the narrative of Payday. Something that has grown more and more interesting over the years, especially so for the players. who
I
have
just
really
realized, since
come
they're
to like the
being in New
story
York,
and
someone's definitely going to
are
make like a
wondering what's gonna happen
Spider-Man
next for the
mask
Payday
parody.
game.
So Payday 3
Oh,
will
probably.
take place in
Yeah.
New York City at launch.
Yo, can we get a
and,
pizza time heist?
We're definitely
Just, like,
gonna
give us,
see
like, a
the
webbing,
gang move to different locations as the
what they're
game
called,
grows and
template
scales
or
over
whatever.
time.
Now give us some.
For Payday
Give us a
3,
moped helmet
there
that says
will
pizza
be
time on it.
the original gang
Pizza
and
mask.
2 more heisters that will join them.
So I think we're definitely going to see collaborations for Payday 3 as well. What's important for us, and that's something that we've taken
Give us John Wick again.
like as a general consensus from the community
Because
as well, it has to fit the universe, and we don't want to do stuff that really breaks immersion. So as long as it's a natural fit and it elevates what the game is
Dude, you're
about.
talking about immersion and not breaking the universe.
Over the past
Did you not
decade,
see the last
we've
few
done
missions of
more than
Payday
30
2?
different
Have you seen the last
collaborations
John Wick
for
movie?
Payday,
Because I haven't.
introducing new
I haven't seen
characters,
John Wick
new
before.
heists.
Dude, the
And
last
I think
missions
the
of
message
Payday
I
2
want to
are
make
just...
really clear to the
Well, I don't
Payday
even know what's
fans out
happening
there
anymore.
is that
It's
for
gone off
launch,
the deep
we
end.
want to focus
Ancient Aliens.
on the
It's
core gang and the core original story of
Dude,
Payday.
the
and
literal
Payday 3.
entire secret,
As we
you know,
go
true
into the
ending
post-launch
is...
of Payday 3,
yeah.
anything can happen.
Yo, and one grand?
You are right.
So like we're
that
pretty
the
much
gang
like
has
just
definitely
saying
grown
that
older,
they'll worry more
and I
about
think
core
that's
stuff when it
one of
comes
the
to
cool
launch,
things
but later
about
on they're going to be
Payday
like,
as a
yeah, we're gonna
trilogy
get
now
crazy.
Is that the story
They're gonna have
and
to,
the
because you
character
can't.
share a red thread through
Like,
the
how
game.
do you
So
tie that
whatever
ending of
happened
the
to
secret ending
one
of
the
Payday 2,
characters
which
in
is
Payday 2
the
over
true ending,
lifespan,
into
that
Payday
it
3?
will somehow be reflected in Payday
Like,
3.
why are they heisting again? They got off scot-free and were mega rich.
The coolest
Let's be fair,
feature
it's
in
hard to
Payday
resist.
3, one of the first one that comes to
They're
mind
like-
They were
is
having
when
fun and
you're
nobody
in the
could touch
bank,
them.
The civilians are everywhere. The cops start rushing in. What you
They
can
were
do in Payday 3 that
mega
you've never been able to
rich.
do before in the Payday franchise
Okay.
is that you can take civilians as
That's
hostages
the biggest thing.
and
So
use
what
them as a shield
what
Okay.
force
towards the law
Oh,
enforcement.
okay. So you
is
can,
driving them back into this?
so you can
There
take
has
like
been a
regular
lot of comments on
hostages.
They're
stream, 'cause
addicted to
we
the
stream
game.
several times a week now, and every time we do, there are always Payday 3 questions. Definitely there's been some heavy hitters that have suggested things or asked things where I've gone like,
That was Hotline
that's
Miami.
actually a fact. You
It
know?
was.
So if you ask that question,
This
You
Hotline
were
Miami,
right.
Hotline Miami day one.
I'm just seeing all these guns
arrived
and
in
then
Washington.
it's just like
Where's my
why
lever
is it so
action?
hard to... They haven't been sleeping around. They've been sleeping around.
My gun! My gun! Chains,
This is the fun
Wolf.
part. You have two gun nuts.
Hoxton,
We have the maid, and then
Houston? I don't know what
there's the
Houston.
person trying to figure out why. What's the story? What's the reasoning?
Yeah, this is good. All
Good.
right.
Alright,
What are we
Platforms.
allowed to say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are
we
to
allowed
say, huh?
that's
I
the
wonder.
first thing that said.
For us, the most important
Yep.
thing is keeping our community together. Making sure that no
Shut
matter
up, I
who
do
you
not
are,
want- no.
what platform you play on, you have the
Killed
same
Payday
great
2 with that
experience.
shit. Don't do
My
it.
name's Craig McLeod, and I'm the
You're gonna do it
executive
anyway.
producer on Payday 3.
That hurt.
For me, one of the most important
Well,
things
one
is
of the
really
biggest things
drawing
was
the
'cause
right
when Payday 2
learnings
was released
from our
on
mistakes
console,
in the past.
It didn't get updates. It was left to the
Ever.
wayside.
The history
It was
of
awful.
the console
Yeah.
editions of Payday 2
Yeah.
is the rockiest of roads that we have had,
Oh, yeah.
right? Because we were
It's
speaking
not,
of
believe it or not,
bumps
because
in the
y'all
road,
literally
and I
made a
think our
native
console
Linux port
heisters
and
are
then
the
didn't
ones that
update it.
have, gotten
Past,
the brunt
like,
of it,
version
really.
2.
And I think it's
Yep.
super unfortunate because a fact
At
is
least
they do
Xbox
not
got like
deserve
2
it.
updates.
On the contrary, it's
Yeah,
our fault
it was-
historically.
My
whether
guy,
it's
if you
been
if you buy a
technical challenges that
DLC, you
we've had
can't
as a
even open the
studio,
native Linux one y'all
inability
made.
Actually, no, I've
essentially to
heard
deliver
the
them
PS4
the
recently had an
experience they
update.
want.
So how are we working with consoles now? I mean, consoles are, first and foremost in our minds because we're very conscious of the fact that they were dropped previously. We are committed
Drop,
to
buddy.
making sure that all of our
Drop
releases are
stuff
across
where that was
PC,
used.
PlayStation 5, and Xbox
You're being
X and
neglected.
S. And you'll notice that when I'm saying this, I'm saying we are only on the latest generation of consoles, and there's a reason for this. The reason is because we realized that to create the best version of the game that we could, we wanted to be on the latest technology.
Yeah, it makes sense. So don't expect to play it on your PS4.
We have a
There's
vision
only
of
so
creating
far that
one
you can
Payday
go with
community.
like older consoles.
Yeah.
To do this, we need to tie everything together. For us, that's Starbreeze Nebula. By
Which I
having
still
our
need
own
to stand
accounts
up
to
for a
tie
second,
things
but I haven't
together
done
with,
it yet.
we're
Yeah,
able
me
to have
too.
an easy first step to enable things like
I've already
cross
done that.
progression that might otherwise need complicated solutions.
But you know
in
what the
order to
Payday
get.
devs should release?
We create Starbreeze
Just release
Nebula so we
Payday
can
3
maintain
on
a
like
single
the original
community across
PlayStation.
all platforms, instead of having to divide people who, in essence, are all fans.
Downgrade
of
the
the same
graphics and everything and just release on the PlayStation.
I think whatever tools we decide to create at Starbreeze
Or
are
on the
to
Atari
the benefit
2600.
of the players
God's
and our
sake,
ability
this
to
is
make
so
the
dope.
best games we can. I think it's that simple, right? Like you touched on, I understand that there are some that might be apprehensive towards signing up for new things, but players have to remind themselves, I think, that we're here to build something beautiful over a long period of time. And in order to do that, you need to set a proper technical foundation in order to achieve that.
True.
Yeah.
What would be my message to the Payday 3 community? I want to say thank you for being so welcoming, actually. It's really great to be invited into the Payday community, into the family. I think we're going to do something great over the coming years, and I'm just really excited to be a part of it with all of you.
I'd like to give a shout out to all the console players out there who over the years, even though it's been a bumpy road, have decided to stick with us through thick and thin and support us. And I'd just like to say thank you for your support.
I'm surprised
and that
they
we as a
exist.
studio salute you and thank you for that. And we're looking
not
to
like
make
things you do on
our
console
best
because it's
effort
so
in making you a
unpatched
happy
and
hiker.
buggy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good answer.
Oh yeah?
Damn, that was good. I like it.
Nico's gonna post a 40-minute blooper reel on just you.
Honestly, it's
On
very
in-crew,
possible. Yeah. What did you just say?
I said that.
I really liked one part of it.
Yeah, one
At the
part of
end,
it
At
only.
the end. Fuck. So, let me... And so I totally forgot where the fuck I was going. You wanted me to do parody. So, Payday... Whatever. About the... Yeah, I'm going
These
all over the
blooper
place.
cuts are
How many
just
takes
great.
did this man
But
have?
there was a good part of it somewhere.
A lot.
It's just like me.
For real, for real.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't said everything.
Oh,
you
but
guys
that's
are
what
though.
I'm big
Do you
on.
want to tell them everything?
Okay.
All right.
These
So
new
now we're
clothes
into
are scary.
combat.
We weren't
Yeah.
specifically looking
Tell me about
to
the melee.
fix Payday the Heist or Payday 2. We feel like those games have their own identity. I am Milor Kovacevic, also known as Mio. I am senior game designer here at Starbreeze. On launch, Payday 3 will have 4 difficulties. We have normal, hard, very hard, and overkill. The general
Okay.
intention
Basics.
is if you're just
Just 3
starting out the
difficulties.
game and you're still learning how to play Payday 3, we recommend you start off with normal. Once you're used to that,
Okay.
you can move to hard mode, and hard is sort of our
Because then hard used to
default
be like the
difficulty while you're
normal.
still leveling up after you understand how
Kinda.
the game works. Very hard is our difficulty where you've progressed enough through the game where you have
Basically
a
how
load that
when
you're
a Payday
comfortable
3
with. If you're a
was,
veteran player, you'll probably be playing very
you
hard.
do
and
normal
Overkill
until
in
you
Payday
get
3
some
is planned
gear,
to be a
then you jump right to
brutal,
overkill.
unfair difficulty.
and then you don't really go. You can sometimes do
in
mayhem, but
terms
you don't
of
really go
enemies,
past that
one of the bigger
unless
changes
you want to
people
do
find
death sentence
is
1
that
down.
we don't segregate enemies based on the difficulty you're playing.
Or death sentence,
What we
right.
want is players
And then
to
if you're
be
doing
able to
stealth, just
experience
death
any
sentence
part
1
of the
down
game
because why the fuck not?
across all difficulties.
You're not gonna get into
So
combat.
what we
Oh,
instead
so
do
we're gonna-
is we play with the enemy numbers and we play with their accuracy and damage. One other thing that people will notice is we don't actually change their health values between the difficulties. And this is because we want to encourage people to be able to play with each other. There's one feeling we want to avoid is a situation where you have to play on an easier difficulty and be bored, or they have to play on a harder difficulty and be overwhelmed.
One thing that matters a lot is the movement in the game, where you have sliding and mantling and vaulting and all these other movement options for you as a player. My name is Jimmy
I want to hear
Karlström.
more about
I'm a
this.
senior game designer here at Starbreeze. Your armor affects the player's total weight as a base, but then also other things can
same
affect
thing.
that weight. This allows you as a player to be faster or slower,
Okay, so you can
depending
slide.
on what you have equipped.
Faster or slower when you're wearing certain gear.
Change are on the
Knowledge builds are going to be crazy.
Armor system?
I am a
Hold on.
gameplay programmer. The armor is built up of shards, so you can you have like specific components that can be broken down by getting shot at. It can recoup, but if you lose one, you lost it forever.
not forever. You can still get it back from armor bag, similar to what we have the doctor bag or medic bag in
armor can break.
The health is not regenerating at all. It's just going down. As soon as you lost the armor, you start losing the health.
Oh no.
We're back to old basics of losing just losing health.
At any time. So, for example, your standard enemies, if they shoot you, they will first hit the armor, but certain special enemies will circumvent that. So you can't just rely on stacking armor and not worrying about health. Health is also a resource you need to pay attention to. To go over what's new about enemies, first I just want to explain how we categorize the enemies internally. So we have 3 categories. We have the common enemies, so that's your bread and butter SWAT and heavy SWAT. Then we have what we call the uncommon enemies. Internally, that is the shield and the sniper. And then we have the specials, and they're there to break the pace.
Now there he is.
Okay.
Yeah. He has top, but now.
Respect for the bulldozer.
Damn.
Yeah, in Payday 3 we are upping him again. It's not like it's only getting more health or more spongy. He has a couple of new behaviors as well that might surprise the players. One of the behaviors is the bull rush. You might stand there, shoot at him.
Bull rush? Is that a Pathfinder
ignoring him,
reference?
looking in a different direction, and then he just can
oh
say,
my god!
And that will, tackle you, make you immobile for a while. Same thing if you get too close to him. If you walk up to him, he will kick you. I mean, the respect for him should be back in Payday 3.
He's a
I don't want to respect Dozer.
But also
You keep saying the respect will be back, but I guarantee you I will find a way to melt him in about 13 seconds flat, maybe.
You can build something that basically deletes them
bulldozer
for you from the game.
speedrun.
So if you really hate the dozer and you never want to see a dozer again, you can have a build that consistently breaches the dozer, but you will be weaker in other aspects of the game.
And this is where it goes into playing with your friends, right? You can be the dozer deleter, or one of your friends then can be the squad deleter. It's all about cooperation and trying to find a way through.
So we need a dozer leader, a SWAT deleter, a sniper eliminator, and
you already know me.
So
you already know what I'm picking, Bird.
So he will take the gas grenade and throw it where the players are, and this will create a gas cloud that exists for a certain amount of time. While you're in that cloud, you can
there's like just a straight up gasser. Oh god!
Directly to your health.
Yeah.
I mean, there was
gas. Make a joke, but we're on stream.
Very similar to how he used to be. We have made some smaller changes to how the stun works. You will have first a partial stun where you can still shoot back and move your aim and try to free yourself. But if you don't manage to do that, you will enter a full
out of ammo,
stun. Cloakers have had a really big update. I would argue that they've gotten the most love, even though they don't deserve it, because nobody likes Cloakers.
I love
Thank you.
Like a bully.
I like this man.
He now has 2 nightstick bracers.
You want him to feel like a bully.
Unattended, and he walks past it. He will melt it with a bottle of acid because he's a toxic person like that.
Oh my god!
He will really neat improvement.
He'll do what with acid?
He's gonna
deployables.
The other SWATs have a behavior where they understand that
so turrets, med kits, armor bag.
Actually walk behind
our first aid kids, man.
Use him as a cover. Stand behind him. Go out, shoot at the player, go back in.
Okay, shields have a little bit more dynamics.
Dynamic.
The shield is really not there to kill you. He has a handgun, but he's mostly there to support other units. So if you have a solo shield, he's probably annoying. If you have a shield that's covering for multiple enemies, then he's actually dangerous.
So, grenade fodder.
When we are picking weapons that goes into the game, we are looking at a lot of different things. What is the sort of perception of a weapon in the real world? And what do we need to fulfill a certain gameplay element?
Can I use my scroll?
So the weapon modding in Payday 3
is
very similar to Payday 2 in the aspect of like you can pick your own sight, your magazines, stocks, etc. But the way you get them is a little bit different. So each gun has their own progression and their own progression path, where you as a player play the game as you gain experience with that gun and as you use it throughout multiple heists, then you will unlock more options.
So there's no continental coins this time.
Find new ways to play with.
Man, I can't break continental coins.
I'm kind of happier about that. If I'm using a gun for a long period of time, I want to be able to use more shipment.
Yeah, I know what Sam. You'll like.
Yeah, but if I want a gun, I don't want to have to grind 13 other guns to hopefully unlock that one or whatever
something that is
stupid ass
important
shit
when
they
you're
might
playing
put
with
in
the
there.
preset weapons is that even though you're playing with these preset weapons, you're still progressing the base
Let's be honest, they're probably going to put in the a little store in there that lets you buy the gun you want for like $3.
Saying like, hey, you're playing with this gun, cool. You're gaining
Epic Games will make sure of that if nobody.
Oh, so they're doing the same thing with like Hunt. If someone else is using a different gun in general, then you get
we get the Hunt progression too.
Gain progress toward during a heist when you are
you know what I mean.
Objectives,
Oh, that's what I was
and then
meaning.
as you gain this progress,
If you guys use a
at some
grenade
point then
launcher,
later
I
you
get
can
stuff for
call
the
in your
grenade
overkill
launcher.
weapon. This is something that is supposed to be a real power upgrade for you and
Dude,
help
I
you
don't-
get
I
out of
don't-
that sticky situation.
You
We have a
that
recoil
scope.
system that is a spray
Now
pattern
that
and
would be me
gun
right
kick based system that allows you to essentially
I
control
don't
your
want
recoil
spray
in
patterns,
certain
man. I'm not
aspects.
trying to play fucking
But
CS:GO.
there are always a little bit of randomization that you can control. But with that said, you can learn and master the spray patterns and find a weapon that really suits
Alright.
your personality and what
I'm
you
okay
want
with
to
that.
play with.
It's R6
It's not
Siege
about
level
finding a
recoil
specific
now, okay.
breakpoint in a game where you want to reach a specific stat number, as in Payday 2 necessarily. Instead, it's about what you enjoy in your combat situations and how you want to engage with it.
Just down a shotgun. Give me a
So,
sans pistol
there are a couple of
and a
different
big
gadgets.
ass
You have
shotgun.
ECM jammer that blocks the enemy
Okay,
to
you can actually
convert.
toss
It also
those.
blocks cameras. You have a
Sweet.
mini camera that you can place, and then you can
Ooh,
at any time
ooh, ooh.
view
Stick
the
it on his
camera.
butt, or is it-
The idea is obviously
This
that
is just
you
this is
can
like
equip
this is like what the game
different
Siege
ones and you
wishes
get
it was.
different possibilities within the heist.
Yeah.
Sadly, yeah.
Honestly.
I believe we have created a really good foundation. I think it's a good first step.
I would like the community to explore the opportunities of Payday and how the different ways you can approach a heist, and also how their choices in the game, both when it comes to loadout and their actions, actually has an impact.
I would like to see players complain about their hatred towards the enemies in particular. I know that the Cloaker is much
Yeah,
hated,
no one
and
no
I
one
hope
likes the
people want to
Cloaker.
hate him even more.
I like Cloaker. He's my spirit
And I also want to see some
animal.
cool skill builds.
Your spirit animal is an asshole that pops out from a bed and instantly roundhouse kicks
This
you.
is gonna break the game.
Yeah, that sounds like something I would do, is it? Doesn't it? I mean,
It does indeed
Fuck that,
sound like
that's
Destiny.
terrible. That's just a fucking lie.
I hate that you're right, Scouty.
No.
I do love these devs though. They kind of like, it's almost like they've also been playing the game on the side and everything like that. It's just like, you know, we kind of.
Yeah.
Dude, they sit in the office some days and they're like, yo,
Made
I don't know
for
what to do today, and they all look at the Payday 3 files and go, we
Spoilers.
could boot up a server.
Okay, this is Ultra's
What an
department, art and
animator is
animation.
doing in our
Okay.
game, since it's game with human characters, we use motion capture as a base. My name is Joachim.
That was
Bygland.
educational.
I'm the lead animator on Payday.
That is how
the
most games
first person
today work.
animations, which is the reloads on the weapon interactions, those are keyframed by hand because they really need to be super cool looking.
Good, because I will
On
absolutely
third-person
roast
animations,
y'all if
you
it's
use
on.
motion capture as a base.
Okay,
It
good.
saves time,
Motion
and also
capture.
you will make sure that you have a realistic motion as a base. Motion capture is
Alright.
actually when you use your body to record animations. You need the acting skills
Omar is the one
be
doing
good
all
at
this.
capture performance. So then it's like acting skills and animation skills combined.
The entire game
Sometimes you get
takes
some good
place
motion,
in
you
New
gotta,
York,
like,
which
capture that.
was honestly like fantastic and liberating to work with. My name is Fredrik Larsson. I am
in
a
Payday
lead
2, y'all
environment
just didn't have
artist
enough
here at
options of, like, you know,
Starbreeze.
Mexico.
We haven't worked with a strict
Russia,
map. We are not recreating faithfully New York. We are building a Payday New York, and it is very different. It looks and feels the
They're gonna
same,
look
but
the
when you
exact
start
same.
looking at the details,
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with
it's
that.
not the same.
The local type
Like,
is very
you
important.
gotta think
That
about
can't
it.
be New York.
In-game
The
to
bikes
make
are in
it
the rack.
even
People
more
steal those
believable.
motherfuckers.
My name is Marielle Carlson, and
You gotta think about it
I
this
am
way.
a
Every
graphic
single game has
designer
tried to
here
make
in
something in
Starbucks.
terms of like
I
actual
have made
cities
around
and recreations of
90
it.
local
They never make it
types
around the
and
game.
all different kinds of variation of those.
So the fact that they're making
And
it
of course,
around the
a lot
game
of
itself specifically is
ads
just
and
a
other
whole
kind of
different
small
ball game.
details in the game.
Oh, nice.
And advertising is
Working on
usually
the
such
artwork.
a
Hungry ball.
it's like a
There's
huge,
our
such a
bobblehead
huge
ball
sign of the
reference.
times.
Yeah.
Like
I can relate to
what you
this.
see in the
I
ads,
take a graphic design
it tells
course.
so much about
I am
the
going
world
to go to bed
right
though.
now.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's a
No,
great way to just
Justin,
show
you gotta, like,
what
four
world
more.
are we in.
No, three
These are
more.
like
We
10
have
minutes
civilian
long.
animations
Three
in different scenarios that needs to fit within a living city of New
I'll just
York.
watch them
Someone might be
tomorrow.
calling for a
So it's like
cab,
20 minutes,
or
Justin.
someone might take out money from an ATM, and all of
Let me
those
check. Where are the
things
other
we
two?
try to
Heist.
bring life to this New York
skills and
environment.
progression
We focused
and
on
customization.
thinking about the civilians as extras in a movie. They can't be stealing the scene. They need to be to
Oh,
support
come on. I like when
like
the,
the
when
narrative
the
and
NPCs
not
do
be
stupid
too
shit,
eye-catching.
though.
Nah, they're still doing
No.
stupid shit though.
Yeah,
I have a
working with the
response
art
to that.
gallery was super fun. It's a pretty, like, just technically art-wise, it's a pretty hard thing to build because usually the galleries are pretty barren, and making an empty room look good
Put
in
it
the game
down,
is
Red.
super hard. Usually you use the dirt, the grit, and you put crap everywhere to make it look good. But on the other hand, we really got to experiment
Give me
with
a true modern art museum.
taking the art and pushing
Yeah,
it
put a
to
banana on
spinning
a
on
goddamn
the artist's motivation
canvas.
behind the painting.
I did a lot
A white
of type,
canvas with a
and
single
also
dot.
I don't think it was
on
even a canvas. It was a
exhibition
goddamn wall.
posters.
Well, I mean, essentially all graphical
Yeah,
design,
give me a
but you were
true
put in the place as
modern art
essentially
museum.
like this was ordered from the owners of the art gallery.
You should really feel
they're really
this
upping the art in this game.
unpleasant owner in this art gallery.
You did a super good job with it as well, because I feel like this logo, it's just
Very
in
flashy.
between
Your face.
pretentious art dealer that doesn't really know
Yeah.
art and
Yeah.
annoying tech bro wannabe.
Dude, this smells like what? Dude, it
One
has
of the
the walnut
coolest
smell.
things that I feel we've
Oh.
been working on
so
is
excessive. Put it down.
the
What do you mean put it
micro
down?
destructions and the sort of dynamic environments, how
sniff
things
it.
react when you
Oh,
shoot
nice.
them.
Oh, I
I mean,
understand
it's
that. Right.
pretty minor
You can
things
interact
like
with
pots
small
breaking,
things.
bowls of fruit just toppling over and
Good. Give me-
stuff
give me
flying
that. That's my
everywhere.
favorite thing in
But,
Payday.
like when you
For
put these
random
elements
destruction.
everywhere,
I
Break
am
the vending
sniffing
machine.
autumn.
it brings
Yeah.
a lot of life and just chaos
That is the name. of
to
I used to, like,
any firefight,
when I'm in
and it's
stealth
like you
and
just
I-
having
everything is
the
in it,
car
waiting for
alarms and
objectives to
things
go to our
shattering
drills,
and the papers
just going
flying
around
from the
smacking stuff
printer
is
when
funny.
you shoot.
Nothing beats that
Just
smell. man.
it turns a mediocre firefight into a spectacular
New
one.
car smell ain't got nothing on me.
And that's what
Okay,
we
even the
want
ceilings
here.
fall
We
apart.
want to have
Nice.
like a hyper
Yeah, it makes
realism, so it
sense.
looks realistic but a little bit more like a Hollywood. So like if we're doing a death animation, we want it to look like Hollywood. So if you're blasted by a grenade, we want that wah in the air, even though that would not be realistic.
Give us more funny ragdolls.
Yeah.
That'll be lovely.
We put a lot of work into the environment, so before
Give
you
him my
shoot it
church
up,
shotgun,
just stop for a moment
and I
breathe it
walk
in,
up to someone, I
please.
can rag their body halfway across the room.
Wait, do
There's
they
a lot
really
of
just
small details
bleed
there,
for us
and
to
I
stop
think they just
and
should
look at the area?
have fun to walk around and
Yes.
see everything we have made.
Yeah.
Well,
It is made
kinda
to be
admire
shot
what they
though, so
made.
like
Make
don't
stealth
let
missions
it
more
stop
entertaining.
you from actually shooting everything and everyone.
It's made to be shot though.
Oh, it smells
Yeah.
so good.
Oh yeah.
For the future, what we try to build is a good base with animation systems, so they are future-proof. So then if we add a new weapon or a new character, it's going to be easy to add that. I'm feeling happy about what we have achieved. So
No,
a
I'm
big,
actually kinda mad about that
shout out
AK
to the
reload.
rest of the team.
Are you?
Really?
We should really keep in mind like the Payday 2
I'm sorry,
has had
he used
a
the
journey for
inferior
10
method of
years
reaching over it
now, and
not
You
under
what?
it.
You
like
want a
every
Ronnie
time you're in
fucking
there
reload?
building stuff,
Yeah.
you kind of drum up these plans and you have to kind
I
of
like
pace
them better
yourself
when
and
they tilt
remember
to the right.
this
and
is
then
the
hit it
start
from
of the next
under.
journey. So I mean, there's a million things you want to build, but just remember the Payday legacy, and this is the start of a new journey.
That's one way to say you're robbing a bank.
Shoot the window.
That's gonna be me. You know full well.
Yeah.
But as I said before, it's
me and Bird trying to go in stealth, scanning, kicking in the front door.
New York actually.
All right, bitches, burn!
Thank you, New York, for being forgiving.
God, he kicks in the front door, throws his grenade in there, shoots at all the windows.
Now we got heist. What heist are we? How many are we getting?
I don't know if this should be part of it, but I guess
know.
you will cut them just.
Yeah.
So Payday 3 is launching with 8 unique heists.
8.
And our goal is essentially to ensure that each heist has its own identity. So when the creative process starts, we're always asking ourselves, what unique gameplay element does this heist have?
Right.
And how do we make it look and feel unique, even if some of them have a similar setting? So we're really trying to make each heist feel like a set piece. But most importantly, we're
in
making
different
them feel
locations.
Two of the hardest things to get people to coordinate is positioning and movement.
Which is
and
interesting.
Stealth at its core is positioning and movement. Per, and I'm
But no
the
longer are you
engineer
just
service.
pressing
We're trying
F
to
and just
make
having
it
it magically
less
appear.
binary, so we have soft fails. So we have different security levels in different areas. Like if you get caught trespassing in certain areas, you don't get cuffed.
Okay.
You get escorted out, and you can try again. You can make a mistake and not go loud immediately.
Like if you break stealth, we don't want that to feel like a failure. We want that to just feel like,
Okay, so they're gonna like
well, now
lighten
we're going
stealth
with
a bit.
the other plan or the other play style. And that's reflected in a lot of things.
Okay, so you're giving us
like the
options
skills
here.
and the gadgets.
So it's
and,
just not
how the
immediate
civilians work as
restart.
So creating a co-op stealth game as opposed
they're making
to
it so
something that
you
is
can
solo
have
only,
those.
a big difference
You don't need like a
there is
specific bow for loud
players
stealth
can
in case you
do
break
a
it.
lot of different
It's
things
just
in
both
parallel, right?
work.
Like there is not really one linear path, and you know different players can essentially go to different locations and do their thing.
Okay, I
if
appreciate
that's the
that.
way you want to play.
Let us be creative.
Every time we design a heist in stealth, we have to think about all the different layers tied to that and different
definitely
actions
gonna
that
help
players
speedrunners
can do,
out
and
when they
also
wanna
make sure that
speedrun a
they feel
heist.
incentivized to do that.
Yeah.
We have expanded the masked off stealth experience.
I wouldn't
And so
be
you can
impressed
do
by the speedrunner
a
that
lot
can just
of
run and knife.
objectives and a lot of work in stealth without putting your mask on.
For example, maybe not everybody wants to mask up during stealth.
Yeah,
Maybe
that's gonna be
two
me.
players will mask up and two will stay in casing, but even those players in casing can help. So
That
that,
way I can
way
just,
if you're
like,
not confident
spot
in
things
what
out.
you're about to do and don't want to risk going loud, you can maybe play it a bit more safe and
like
do
that
the
a
less
lot.
risky
Man, I'm
things that
calling
still need to be
myself
done.
out right now.
Hey, it's okay. I like my stealth.
One way we've
you
been
don't
doing
like
to
it that way.
modernize sort of the
And then there's
interactions
scouting,
and
he likes to
mechanics that
blast
we're doing
things.
is there are less quick interactions. It's more
I
about
do want to get better
bypassing
at stealth in
obstacles
this
by
game compared to
managing
2.
hostages, moving
I
them
mainly
around.
just let you guys
There's
carry
a lot
me in
about
stealth.
movement and just general coordination between players. and
Well,
also
this will be
using the
new, so I
tools
won't
that
know
we
the
have.
layout, so I'd have to learn with you.
Expanded a lot on the civilians in stealth. So we've broken down civilians into your regular Joe Schmoes and the employees. And
Really?
they care about different things. Civilians have
they're
more
not all the
value.
same.
So in Payday 2, you just kind of traded them to get people out of custody. We still have that, but we also have the negotiation phase.
Oh,
Enemies
okay.
care about whether there's any civilians nearby or not. Shotgun enemies, they will switch to a more precise weapon. We have a new enemy as well, that throw gas grenades, but they will resort to using flashbangs if there are also civilians in the area.
You know, with the
We
way
also
that
have some
they're
skills
like
to leverage
kneeling,
and give you
there's
more
not going to be any head
stuff if
flipping.
you trade civilians. So they have a value outside of just getting somebody out of
So
custody.
position yourself well, and you can get like shotgun
There's
wielders,
a lot of strategy
not
involved in where
shotguns
you
or the
place
gas
the
guys.
civilians, so you might not want to trade all civilians right away. But of course, there's always the risk that you might kill them because they're in the way of fire.
So we have security modifiers in Payday 3, which essentially is a way for us to sort of throw in a wrench into the game when you're stealthing.
first they
Depending on
mentioned
what
this.
difficulty
Wait,
you
we're
play,
the ones who's supposed to
we
be
have a
allowed to throw
rotation of
wrenches, not
security
you.
firms,
What the
and what
fuck?
they do is they change how you have to approach different things. It's a way to make the heist more challenging and also increasing replayability.
I would say for stealth, we also tried to make objectives and goals scale a bit with the number of players, not in a more like if you're solo, you have less stuff to do, you have the same amount to do. For example, in one heist, you might need to do a hacking objective on one end, but then you need to go and do something on the other end of the heist, and then that's something another player can do.
So the world has evolved since Payday 2, and that's something that we've adapted to as well. So you will see more security systems, and you will see more tools and equipment that are high-tech. Also, in general, the world feels a little bit more high-tech, but it's still contemporary. And making sure that it feels contemporary has also been an important part of the vision, since the game is going to grow over time. And we want to make sure that it feels sort of timeless in that sense.
From my point of view, a lot of the more digital stuff is in the gadgets. I feel also the hacking is a bit more expanded, and we have a foundation there to further expand it post-launch. So right now, hacking is mostly focused, or the systemic non-objective hacking in the game is more focused on cameras. We have certain plans for down the line to further expand hacking functionality as we add more content in the game.
So you can hack
so
cameras.
There are a bunch of new gadgets in Payday 3.
I really wonder, like, what about like shooting cameras?
What we have focused on primarily
take them off
is
in the second game?
The goal has been to increase the player agency,
but
meaning
you can also use it
gadgets
to your advantage
should
in
be
regards
a
to
tool
certain
for you
areas.
to sort of either de-escalate situations or different ways of approaching security systems or infiltrating the locations that you're supposed to heist.
So as far as voice lines go, we have something that we internally call coordinated voice lines, which is SWATs will react to things in the world and say a line, and sometimes that stuff is related to other enemies. So if there is a dozer,
kind of like Hitman, actually.
Hear a SWAT say, "Make way for the dozer," or "Clear the way for the dozer." That's also a hint to the players. There's a dozer nearby, and they will have some lines for civilians as well.
We have a bunch of new puzzle mechanics, especially during stealth, because stealth is when you usually have to be pretty calm and very strategic
more holding
in terms
F.
of what you're doing to not escalate.
I guess not.
So
some of our maps also have very unique security
but a
systems. So
holder
there are laser grids, alarm floors, sensors that are moving. So we're definitely evolving.
I like that.
We're on some Mission Impossible shit here.
Remember those
like
laser
that
paths?
Varies quite a bit from map to map, but it also your approach has to change between maps.
I feel like only
you need
one
to
of
adapt
us
to the heist
should
quite a
go
bit.
in those rooms.
It's less of a racing game.
Yeah.
And more
Probably
requires
two,
a bit
depending
more
on what needs to be
patience
done.
to figure out what happens and how to move around.
Coordination is also really important
They still got that.
for the difficulty of a heist, and not just coordinating who's where and who's doing what, but coordinating skills is also very important.
So
when you heist in Payday 3, I love the fact that you many times feel that you are in control and things are going pretty well. And then you open the vault and you start stealing money and you realize, holy shit, there's a lot of money here. Let's steal some more.
Yes.
That's usually when you get really, really fucked.
Because vaults take so long to open.
Yeah.
So you have to have like someone, you have to have like 3 of your team.
That was pretty good.
They use radios. It still says pagers in a few places,
He's like
but it
fucking
shouldn't.
tired, basically.
And
I think
then
that was
understanding...
that
jag vet fan.
I did not confirm or deny it.
Nej! Jag tror att det är ett fett sätt att avsluta New York på.
It's funny.
But yeah.
Is up next to skills, right?
Yeah, skills and progression.
That's what I'm interested in.
I'm
not sure if I can say, but what we will be introducing for launch is...
Stop playing with our emotions.
So with Payday 3, we've decided to look at all the parts of Payday 2 and Payday the Heist and see what we felt worked and what didn't work. So with skills, we kind of wanted to start with a blank slate. So what we have is we don't have perk decks or skill trees anymore. We've changed that to skill lines.
Skill lines.
Basically how they work is you have a base node, you have upgrade nodes, and you have a mastery node. And the upgrade nodes go from 3 to 5 upgrade nodes depending on the skill. And then we have mastery nodes, which are weaker, but they don't require you to equip any upgrades or base.
Pretty simplified.
You do not have to pick all the nodes in a skill line. So how they are laid out is you have the base node, and then it has
this is like a simplified version of builds.
And you do not have to pick the upgrades in sequence. You just have to have the base skill equipped.
Okay then.
Okay, I like that.
In general, how the in-game economy will function is that chiefly you'll be stealing cash, which is the main currency. The thing is, the cash will inflate. You'll have a lot of cash. We want to maintain that. And how you're going to spend the cash will be on different items. My name's Charlie Tchaikovsky, and I'm the senior game economy designer here at Starbreeze. We have a secondary currency, which is C-stacks, which you're using to spend on other specific items. And these two things are functioning together. And you're converting your cash into the C-stacks.
Really?
What are C-stacks? What does it stand for?
It comes from CrimeNet stacks.
Their own version of Bitcoin.
Slightly obscure crypto-like currency that's associated with CrimeNet.
Makes
what
sense.
you can do is you can buy specific items that we decide on. There'll be some high-end
Except this one has actual
equipment,
value.
like weapons and cosmetics, and also the final upgrade levels of weapons.
Censoring some stuff.
What we're trying to do with the cash
for each
C
weapon
stack
is
trading is you have a vendor in the game that lets you trade cash for C stacks, and the more cash you trade, the more expensive.
Actually, no, this
each
is a new
subsequent
Continental
trade
coin.
gets. And then every week that resets, and you can trade again at the most favorable rate.
We'll look to use
so it's different
those
rates too.
C-stacks going forward into
And it changes
post-launch
weekly.
content.
And also just to make sure.
So it's
there's
literally
no
the stock
confusion.
market.
C-stacks are
it's like
not
trying to
a
sell your
premium
turnips on a
currency.
certain
The
day
only
in
way
Animal
to
Crossing before
earn
they
them
get
in
bad
game
at the end of
is
the
from
week.
cash you get by playing. There's no.
You heard that,
real
Bay
money
Whales?
connection
No
to
real
them.
money bullshit.
The three core
Really?
buffs are Edge.
Wow.
Yeah, no, you can only
Grit,
get the C
and
stacks
Rush.
from the cash in game.
Edge is
Damn,
a damage
that's
buff,
surprising.
Grit is a defense buff, and Rush is a speed buff. And how the game
Current
works
speculations,
is you can get one of each
beta's
buff,
out
so you
tomorrow.
can't get multiples of the same type, and you get them through skills.
Mm-hmm.
What we want players to do
Let's wait
is
till
we
the
want them
actual
to
ending
kind
of all
of
this.
look
Yeah,
at
just put
how they get
speculations
these
down.
buffs from their build
Pretty
and
much.
play around that. So for example, the aim down sight skill that says you get edge after aiming down sight, that's from a skill line that's focused on sniping, but that same edge buff can be used for skills that are also using that buff but aren't related to sniper rifles or long distance combat. So you're basically mix and matching. How do I get this buff? From where, and then which skills benefit from me having that buff active, and then you can build however you want.
Skill points, they are earned through the main progression system, which is called the infamy system. I assign at different levels when a skill point unlocks. So as the player progresses, they're going to build up their skill points, and then they've got essentially more points, but you can think of them as a resource. They've got more of these points to use and apply and equip skills with. So as they're progressing, they're getting more variety in what skills they can use.
Skill points aren't permanently spent, so this is more like the capacity of skill points you have. We're keeping the part of Payday 2 where you can equip and unequip skills freely and experiment with different builds as you want. Right now,
that's nice.
the last skill point is unlocked on Infamy level 100, and it's 21 skill points total.
So 21 skill points total at Infamy 100. Okay.
As you complete challenges in the game, you get Infamy points, and that increases your Infamy level in the game. And there's 150 levels on launch. On level 100 is when we unlock the last gameplay thing, which is the final skill point. At that point, you have all the base weapons unlocked, all the gameplay features, all the skill points. After that, it's only cosmetic rewards. So from 100 to 150, it's basically bragging rights. But as we add more challenges to the game post-launch, there will be easier methods to get to level 100. So we're gonna add extra skill points, and now the new soft cap is, for example, 110, and the new hard cap is 160, for example.
The more skill points will be added
We
as...
expect all players to be able, if they play enough, to get to level 100. Like, that should be within reach of everybody. But if you want to get to level 150, then that's the hardcore dedication part.
Yeah, I only know one person that has
Experience
it.
points are like resource you get from playing the heist are distributed evenly into the different weapons and skills that you have. But the infamy points are like the overall control of our progression. If you play a heist and you generate 500 experience points for the heist, then the weapon that you have equipped will get 500 experience points, and the skill line that you have equipped will get 500 experience points.
Interesting.
We have a challenge book, which you can go through. It's broken up into a few categories, and you can filter based on challenges in progress, completed, or locked. And we plan, post-launch to improve the, the flow and the feedback and information that players feel is missing.
The idea we're trying to create is that we're not restricting the players into doing specific challenges and they have to focus on one thing. Generally, we want to say, go play the game. Just go and enjoy it, and you will experience progression. You will always be doing something, and you'll always be progressing something towards something.
Yeah,
and then later on, you need to focus on some specific things,
like
and things that will test the skill level.
Payday 2's progression part for me was grind enough heists to get the experience and then reset it all.
Progression system.
Yeah, that's why I like playing
games
based
on challenges. Those challenges reward infamy points, and the infamy points contribute to you leveling up your infamy level. And at new different account levels, as you're progressing, you unlock new weapons. But when you're playing with a weapon as well, you are dumping experience points into it, and that unlocks new modifications that you can have for that weapon.
You know, I like
level
that.
Up the car for
like, this is better than what they had in the second game, where it's like you have a chance with the card selection thing at the end of each mission.
Yeah, to get mods for it. And then if you want to get a weapon,
sometimes you get like a mod for a gun you don't even use. It's so random.
Yeah, and then if you want to use a new gun and mod it, you had to spend content coins if you didn't have a mod already. It was a pain. This one is just
pretty much.
You like a gun, you play with that gun, you get new mods for it.
Every car 4 you buy is going to be the same level. It's not that particular car 4. The only thing that's particular to the weapon is which mods you pay to unlock on that version. That's always the difficult question of how do I have a stealth build and a loud build at the same time. We have tried our best to make skills be useful in both stealth and loud, but we hope that the amount of skill points we give you is enough for you to have a loadout where you attempt stealth but are still capable in loud.
You will lose it. So.
I will mislead you.
So something we tried to make sure when we were designing Payday 3 is that without any skills, without any mods, just getting a weapon and going in, that the game feels good. Essentially, as long as you have
when you first
the gear
playing
unlocked,
the game,
you should be fine. What skills are there to do is to emphasize a playstyle and to make things easier for you.
When I've played the game, I've seen it get more fun, and I really like the sort of high octane action and everything that happens in the chaos when you're playing the heists. And like as a designer, we are always playing as well, even as when you're working on these progression systems. So, like. This is really nice.
Yeah, it is.
The most complicated thing to implement is the thing we are not actually launching with.
Chaotic
and I
grenade
not
launcher.
commit to what it is.
We're not
You're gonna hear a multitude of Joker laughs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hope there's a mask for it.
It's actually a much more boring story. Was that another 40 minutes of raw footage for you?
Yep.
Another 40 minutes of raw footage.
Yep.
And now it's time for customization.
People think it's a good idea, some people think it's a bad idea, because we've been talking about the...
Yes. How will it be?
When we're creating cosmetics, we did try to figure out a good foundation that we can go from.
Let us be able to move it.
We have different rarities in the game as well.
Let me move the stencil on the mask.
To the really expensive ones.
I recognize some of these.
We needed to have a good rule set to work with, so I haven't spent a lot of time trying to figure out what is a common mask and what is a legendary mask, what differs between them as well. So that's why you see some really plain masks as well, which are simple shapes.
Oh, this is nice. This is just because here's the thing I always felt bad for whenever I buy a new mask in Payday. It's like, oh, it already looks good. I don't want to customize it. They're giving us blank canvases here.
The more
lovely.
common items,
Really good?
they should feel like this is something that they go to a hardware store. They get like a cheap supplies and they make themselves a mask.
I want to
then
DIY
they go and
this
rob a
shit.
bank, and then as soon as they make the first bank, they go and buy really expensive and cool-looking stuff. There is a lot that goes into selecting new cosmetics. Things like the theme. Also the thing that it should not look goofy right away. We'll have our chance to add all the silly and goofy stuff.
Yeah.
But right now
Like
we want to.
Can we actually like
the gang is heading the comeback?
A thing I will love is the fact that if we can actually customize our mask and then go back to it and customize it again.
That would be cool.
Because that's the thing I dislike the most in Payday 2's customization is the fact that you have to like finalize it and then it's like permanent unless you want to like sell it again and just Lost a bunch of good materials on.
You don't
masks.
come back into the business in the chicken soup.
You don't come back.
Yes, you do. A big discussion how after years of Payday,
to the Twitch drops for this
the
game.
masks they touch different spheres of art. So there are a lot of realistic masks. There are a lot of silly masks. There are a lot of like horror themed masks.
Ooh.
You know, they look like the mask you could buy on like a carnival.
We have a bunch of weapon presets, so they come pre-modified with a matching skin.
We also have a feature called preset masks, and those are interesting. Those are mostly consist of the items that are available at the black market to customize your own mask. But they usually feature one unique thing, like a unique pattern that you cannot buy. It can feature like a specific material that is applied to the mask or a section of the mask, like the pattern region.
Oh, that's
the hardest redesign of like I would say like it's not a particular character and it's not the outfit they wear. I would say the faces is because the Payday 2 graphics and the fact that
it's not all the same player model.
The original heisters. They come from almost 10 years ago, and now that we have the capability to create the more realistic faces,
we want to avoid clipping.
Also, at the same time, we cannot make them look exactly like the actors from the web series.
It's been 10 years since Payday 2 as well. You can't expect the players to look the same as they did 10 years ago.
That's true.
So you probably have some battle scars, some like aging in the face. So that's what brings us from Diesel into Unreal as well, that we can utilize the new technology that we have today. We are using face scans to get all the
give me Jimmy back. Give me my Jimmy.
Richness in the faces that we couldn't get in Payday 2. We have a very good foundation for Payday 3, but it's something we want to evolve in the future to enrich the Payday 3 experience as well. So we are looking into more systems and maybe more cosmetics that we can add to the game.
There is a lot that we achieved with the engine, and there is a lot coming.
I mean, they didn't go too in depth with it, but that's cool.
I
really like the blank canvas mask.
I should.
Of course, the artist would like the blank canvas.
I really hope
I'll be able to
don't even talk about them anymore. Shouldn't go into the dev diary, but you know.
Me over here that would probably just wear a beanie anyways.
Me missing my tiara.
Yeah. So yeah, speculations. I hope for customization. I saw it. Most likely, we might not be able to move the decals or whatever.
Can I just say, out of all the games that we've seen, in terms of like some games here and there that we've seen, not just on Mute stream and everything, but like just games in general, this has to be like a decent amount of coverage on different topics for a game that we've seen in like years.
Yeah. Oh, you can buy colors.
Of course you can.
Yes.
Like the fact that they're trying their best to be as transparent about the game and what they want to do as possible is the best thing about this. Because like when it comes, you were saying, Burb?
I was gonna say they're laying it very clearly out in front of everyone what's going on. They're being transparent.
Like I think that the biggest thing sometimes from us as gamers is just that we want some more transparency of what direction they want to go with the game. It's not something that you should be worried about as a developer of like, hey, which direction do you want us to take this game? It shouldn't have to be a worrisome thing. It should be that you love your community and the community loves you, work together to make a great game. It's not that hard.
Yep.
Now,
and Starbreeze is doing that. They clearly have played Payday 2, and they clearly have listened to what the fans want.
Now, my big
go on, Scotty. Yep.
Now, my biggest thing that I'm literally more focused on and everything is just combat wise and gameplay wise. Like, I'm gonna keep it real.
Yeah.
The cosmetics are cool, the heists are gonna be all cool and everything like that, and the narrative, those are probably all gonna be things. But I'm a big person on gameplay, replayability, and how everything feels. And knowing full well that we got that segment, I am definitely happy about it, and I'm hoping to see a lot of good, cool shit in Payday 3 and more stuff in the future.
Same.
Oh, definitely.
I'm very much happy they did do a segment on the gameplay and the heist because with a game like Payday, the heists play into that replayability. Because it's by the sounds of it, it sounds like no two heist. Like if you do the same heist over and over again, it's not going to be the same objectives over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Not like, okay, you know you got to go here to disable security. You know you got to go here to hack that computer. You know you have to go here to plant this or to get that. It very much sounds like it's like, okay, one time you play, you got to hack this computer and then go hack this other computer and then drone to the vault and then do this and do that. And then the next time you play, it could be hack this computer and then get a key card to go into this room to do something else. And I like that.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to test that out for sure, seeing if we can do the same thing. But then the plan might change or something.
Yeah, because like for Payday 2, like let's take the simple one, bank heist. Like I know the positioning of the guards. I know where the cameras are going to spawn. I know like how to lure the guards out. Once that's done, it's okay. Go to tellers. It doesn't matter what side of the door. Blast the tellers so they don't hit the button. It's easy to get everyone down, and then it's done on stealth. That's it. You tie up everyone's hands, and that's it.
I was gonna say the only thing they changed I've noticed in Payday 2 during those bank heists is probably just the location of the cameras.
And even that is nothing. You buy the key card asset, you go to manager, you go to where it is, right?
Yeah.
Which is normally I put it in the back room, right? Most of the time you can just walk in and get it. You find the cams either by the back room there or near the stairs going up to the roof. You mask up, you put the key card in, you blast the cam operator. One guard down, cams are done for the map.
Okay.
That's how easy it is to get rid of cams on that heist. But it sounds like we might not be able to fully disable cameras.
I mean, they used to show off the phones earlier, and I don't know if you can disable a camera and then shoot it right after immediately.
I don't know. And then that's another thing. If you back up the video for our second ultra.
Oh, yeah.
Because I know you have this one on. Right there.
Right
safe. Nope.
Oh.
The safe, the lock picking on the safe.
Lockpick? Oh, yeah.
You gotta back up just a few seconds.
There it is. There it is. Yeah. So this.
That is definitely not how safe was before. Before you just used to, hold the button. This one, it seems like it's a full mini game. You have to get the combination for.
Might be the whole trying to turn in, try to get the right click.
Yep, because it was turning green when you got the right number. But.
Yep. Oh
see?
Yeah. Yep. Saw that.
So. Now imagine that on a time crunch with guards walking around.
Yeah.
Huge new dynamic for stealth.
There's gonna be some butt cheeks clenching. I know for a fact.
Yeah, No, but also imagine that during that. Imagine if that is an objective needed to be done during that too. All the bullets firing, you definitely need to work with your teammates to keep the key off your ass. You're picking that lock.
Yeah, this is literally have someone cover you, just like how in the first game with the bank heist, you just like open while you're like lock picking every single vault or safe, and yeah, it's either money or not.
Yeah,
I mean,
the deposit boxes.
This is the reason why for the Payday 2 I had this mod that just like, well, I just so I don't have to hold F the entire time, I just like right click and it just does it. I don't have to hold anything. I think you have that as well, right?
No, I held the button. Remember, I played with controller, not
right,
keyboard,
right? I didn't even know you played with controller actually.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, I played with controller for that. So it doesn't bother me just holding down a button, right?
Yeah. In fact, when it came to switching weapons, one thing I really wish I could have like looked into, and it's probably possible with a little bit of tweaking, is changing weapons, because on keyboard you had to I had to press C to change weapons.
Yeah.
So most likely they'll have like more of a modern take with scroll wheel and stuff, your modern
Potentially,
controls.
I don't know. I also want to know how they're going to do deployables, not deployables, throwables.
Throwables. One thing it might be your regular toss grenade, like before.
Well, we also saw one. They were using a throwing knife and hitting a guard's head, right?
Yeah.
So I'm curious if it's going to be like Payday 2, where things like the throwing knives or cards, ninja stars, that you can pick them up again, right? After you throw them. Or is it going to be, you toss them once and that's it, and then you need to get the grenade case or something to get them back again?
Yeah, that is true. Let me check.
It's little things like that I'm thinking about, right?
Yeah.
And that's another thing. The fact that you can go into an area and a guard can escort you out depending on the area to do like initial recon is huge.
Now I will say because I always tend to do this regardless of like a positive and a negative.
Yes.
And this is more like potential stuff, but still I'm starting to see a potential negative with how civilians kind of work from time to time.
Yeah, I was seeing that too.
Because it's kind of like, I understand that bringing dynamics of the civilians in general is a good thing, because it's not like they're just little like tokens and everything like that to just exchange and all that type of stuff. But not only given the complexity, I'm kind of wondering if there is even going to be certain missions that you can have the dynamic of civilians there.
Probably.
Because it's kind of like, if there's going to be such a big dynamic or hindered around civilians and everything like that, they definitely need to make missions that are based around it somewhat, but then there's also going to be missions that are not based around it.
So traffic controlling civilians, maybe?
Well,
I don't think that the art gallery is going to be a civilian-focused map, if you look at it.
Yeah, I'm just saying that I hope when it comes down to it that they're not really planning on just having things being just solely surrounded by any type of civilian based type of stuff. And also, I'm really hoping that there's not going to be some various nonsense that they added it in terms of civilian stuff, especially during more stealth missions. I get it that technically they're talking about, there's certain dynamics that we're adding in to really throw a wrench into plans. But imagine if just a random drunk civilian walks up and all of a sudden distracts all the guards, and then there's another instance where a civilian all of a sudden trips the alarm, and all of a sudden you guys are in there.
I can't see that happening with I don't think they went that in depth with civilians to them literally ruining the heist that way.
Well, remember how you said there's two modes of civilians. There's the civilians, right, and then employees.
Yeah.
And he didn't touch on what the big difference is. He didn't touch on what the employees really do.
That's fair.
But yeah, I'm just generally doing this as a term of just something to keep in mind, is sort of thing. I'm not saying that this is something that they can do. I'm not on the dev team, or I'm not exactly sure where their direction is. But I'm just more along the line saying that that's a potential negative that is probably going to get complained about.
Man, this has it's less than a racing game. Obviously, you're not using the racing game engine anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fact that like Payday is now officially getting its own engine for like what the game is supposed to be.
That's great. They didn't touch on driving mechanics either.
Well, hopefully we won't be any. Payday is not a driving game.
No, but still, we could just get
Biker haunts me to this day.
Yeah, don't worry. We'll probably get better driving mechanics at the very least.
Car Shop and Biker Heist haunt me to this day.
Yeah, I know it does.
I mean, it was bad driving, but it wasn't bad driving to the point where I would say I hated it 100%.
I don't do racing games or stuff like that, Scotty. When I do driving in video games, it's all right. How many civilians can I hit before the car blows up?
So basically, GTA shit.
Yes.
X and S.
How many civilians can I hit before this car blows up? That's what I do. So yeah,
and I do love the idea of the devs even pointing out that they have just certain dynamics of their jobs and everything like that, and them actually like they feel like that they're actually interested in making the game. They don't really just try to do a sales pitch. They're actually putting their own like perspective of how things are. Like the fact that the art team pointed out that they were making a game that's basically like they wanted to make the environment beautiful, but they also wanted to make it where like it's kind of like the saying goes of like you make shade for someone else to sit in. They're making an environment that's beautiful, yeah, sure, but they know ultimately it's going to turn into a shooting gallery.
Yeah.
And the fact that they kept that in mind while making the different types of environments and having different dynamics while just simple items are being shot, that level of detail is ultimately like showing like, hey, we care about the one side of our job, but we also care about the idea of how fun it's going to be for the player.
And one thing I'm noticing is that if you can like take them as a human shield, isn't that like moving civilians more faster?
It would be moving them faster, but that depends on if you can throw them back on the ground or not.
Yeah, you'll probably be able to, maybe. I can't imagine you just holding a human shield just out of nowhere and just like not being able to remove it.
Sorry, I'm looking with you pause that ultra. Yeah. That is classic Payday right there. You see one civilian in the foreground being tied up, one civilian in the background being tied up. Yeah, you see it now?
I see that. Oh my god, that guy.
I can't tell whether that guy is really just like clueless or is he actually on the phone talking with his wife. Like, oh yep, just another day, honey.
He's just on the phone.
I don't know, but that is so classic Payday.
Hopefully I don't get shot or everything. I'll probably be home for dinner.
Yeah.
Okay. Casually walks, runs away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so they still have some classic Payday in here. That makes me happy.
That's great.
Just the fact. What was it, Scotty?
I'm really wondering if there's going to be a certain dynamic of you just heisting enough times and one civilian's like, the old routine. Okay, I'm getting down.
I would love that.
That would be so fucking stupid, but I would love it too.
Yeah.
Just like you do bank heist enough times, there's like one civilian in the back sees you coming, already gives you a key card, puts their head down, like.
Thanks, Claire.
Yeah, that would be so good.
And also the fact that like with the new abilities and stuff, like freaking attach cameras. Like I know we didn't talk about that much.
Yeah,
that's crazy. I forget which video they introduced it in.
Doesn't matter. The point being the fact that you can throw cameras on people's on guards and see their movements, their pathing, and where they go.
That'll be interesting to see what other stuff they can do. Just, attach like a portable EMP, have them walk around, disable all the cameras without them knowing it. Dang. That would be nuts.
And there's going to be more games. They're only talking about the mini cameras and the EMP jammer, right?
Yeah.
Which seems to be used to knock out cameras and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's that. Like,
yeah, the phone.
I guess hacking a guard, it looked like.
Yeah.
Knock him out. I guess that was the mini camera. Because there's the guard there, and he doesn't. See the guard, like, kind of.
Yeah, I think that just, like, got his comms or something.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that'll be interesting to see.
That's still a big thing to do.
I mean, beta's coming out tomorrow, and yeah.
Yeah. Because that's a big thing, though. Hacking cameras just like that, too. Like, just, you can look at them, whip at your phone, and...
Oh, hack radio, that's what it was.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and like hacking cameras and stuff. A lot of interesting stuff you can do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Because before, I think back in Payday 2, we used to have trouble with those, especially cameras you can't really shoot out. You would have to like rely on speed and just running right past it. That's why Destin made himself so fast in that game, to the point where it's like any single movement he made, it's just too fast.
Well, I got used to the jump crouch maneuver.
Oh yeah, I remember that, because all the detection is by head, which I still wonder if it's still by head.
I don't know.
I'd imagine they wouldn't want to delve too far, but they could. So it'll be interesting to see people break the game down if the head detection is still a thing or not in this game.
It would be interesting, because I don't think it is, because that was also basically part of a limitation of the system too, right?
Yeah, that's true.
This one definitely does not seem like that, because they even said there's like alarm censored floors, right?
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh yeah, you saw that right there, because you'd have to like see like the red all around there. You have to like jump the platform. So
that's gonna be interesting for an art gallery too.
Yeah. I wouldn't trust myself doing this. So I'll trust one of you guys.
That's 100% Destin or me type thing.
Honestly. Like, I'll try, actually. Not to say that I'm cowarding out. I'll try.
Yeah,
you know?
Because it's just going to be precise jumping. And, lasers. I did not notice the lasers in that room.
Yeah, you didn't see that? Yeah, there's, like, you're going to have to jump over it. And also, I think you can see, like, the little detection thingies right there. Yeah. So you will be able to know. You just got to, like, time it properly.
Yep.
That's something I'll try to do and probably try to improve on. It's great that they're releasing an open beta tomorrow during the time of this stream. So yeah.
Yes.
Definitely be checking that out.
There's a lot of fun things to look forward to in it. A lot of things to be worried about, because like it's kind of up to civilians. That's the thing.
Yeah.
The gameplay with, because like they said, if you go down, if you're on higher difficulties, like very hard or overkill, or even on hard, the enemies, they'll have the same amount of health, but they'll be more accurate. They'll do more damage. The fact that if you lose a segment of armor, you lose a segment of armor. You can't get it back.
Yeah, that's true.
Unless you use an armor ball, like an armor bag.
I was like noticing the hub for a second right there. I can't really hide the YouTube bar, but you can kind of see it.
The hub's got the whole entire hub is not exactly it's a little bit more minimalistic than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, honestly,
very minimal.
Probably because modders will just make more advanced hubs and stuff. Can't wait for a Poco Hub sequel.
Yeah. So I'm guessing the blue bars are going to be your armor buff its health, and the white bar is going to be your health.
Yeah, it actually looks like that. Okay, that's nice.
Because it says your armor is segmented, right?
I don't remember what the default Payday UI looks like, so yeah, I had like a circle from the mods I have. I think was it still a circle in the default? Not too sure.
I can't remember.
Yeah, I would have to look at some basic Payday gameplay right now to remember that. So yeah.
But It's interesting to think about that.
Is any other speculations?
And then the fact that health does not regenerate, that's going to be scary.
That is true. But yet again, I don't remember it regenerate. I mean, you had perks in the second game that had it regenerate, though, didn't it?
But
yeah, it regenerated
like,
naturally.
The whole entire idea of it just not being regenerated in general is going to be...
Yeah, because there was some damage that...
Oh, no, you're talking about the armor, right?
No, health.
Oh, health?
And health. Armor regenerated fully naturally, and health did somewhat regenerate. Like, you could take a few hits, and then there's some that you would get back if you didn't get hit for a bit.
Yeah, we're definitely going to be needing the mini med kits.
And that's another thing. Fucking cloakers can use acid to destroy your deployables.
Oh yeah, right. That's going to be a hassle. Like, you're going to have to like put your deployables in like certain locations where they could possibly not reach it.
You would not deploy it until needed is what you would have to do.
Yeah, that too.
If it's unlocked, you would have to move as a group. You can't veer from each other. You would have to move as a 4-man squad or 3-man or however many you have. And when you need a deployable, you put it down and you make sure at least 2 people need it. So it does not go to waste.
They definitely knew what they were doing when it came down to making the fucking cloaker more hated.
Yes.
Yeah.
The acid.
I more applaud them for that because it's kind of like they knew that we hated him and everything like that. It's like, let's give you something more to hate him about. We want this character to be hated.
Pretty much. What are you saying, Barb?
It's scary because let's say you find a safe spot, you want to put your med kit down, right? Because you can see it's well defended. So you put it down. You're heisting, you're shooting. Someone runs back there for help, and suddenly it's gone because a cloaker melted it.
Yeah. I wonder if they're gonna like have perks or something where you can just have like deployables that can avoid that, maybe?
I don't know.
That would be nice.
Most likely it's either gonna be a certain specific deployable, like maybe some type of protector turret, or it's gonna be a perk.
Anti-acid med bags.
Yes.
Have like some sort of like armor around it or something to prevent it from melting.
Potentially.
But yeah,
I mean,
some speculations I got for that is just going to be like, we're going to probably get the usual stuff, obviously med bags. We saw the armor bags. Probably mini med kits. I don't know if we saw that during the gameplay. We saw EMPs. I mean, you got the micro cameras and stuff. I think those still are in those categories.
Yeah, they're under deployables, I'm pretty sure. Or equipment, I should say.
Yeah. So,
and plus to have the old gang and 2 new heisters and everything like that, like just.
Oh yeah. Well, is Joy? I thought Joy was a heister.
Joy was in Payday 2.
Yeah.
She was in Payday 2. She became a later edition, but she was in it.
Yeah, she was in here.
Yes.
But I guess they're just like making her more.
And I'm pretty sure it's the same voice actress as well for Joy.
Let me hear. Do they have any voice lines featured?
There's some voice lines. Just give it a bit.
Let's see. Oh, yeah, Pearl is new.
Keep an eye out for cameras.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got the hack running.
Okay.
Mask up, game on.
I'm going to presume that on release date, we're going to get an additional new heister as well. Either going to be a returning one, which there are a bunch of heisters that could return, or a brand new one.
If they do returning, who would you want to see?
That's hard because I'm not too familiar with all the heisters. Like, you guys are probably more familiar with them.
It's a tie between Jacket and Jimmy for me.
I think everyone wants to see Jimmy back.
Yeah, Jacket, it's a flat out Jimmy for me.
I don't know about just Jack. I don't know, like any like characters that were from like crossover. I don't know if we'll see them soon. Maybe eventually.
Jimmy was crossover.
Yeah.
Jimmy was crossover. Jacket was crossover. John Wick was crossover. Bodhi was crossover. Ethan and Hila was crossover.
I don't think we'll see any influencers this time for now.
Scarface.
What about me?
Like I said.
Scouty, if they
would,
put you in the game, I would main you as the character.
Otherwise, I would ask for a maid. You know, as a heister.
If they put either of you in the game, you would be part of my crew.
I would cry.
I would die.
I would, if they put me in the game, I would laugh. Just flat out laugh. And I would play myself and just have a laugh.
No, maybe a mask or something. Just give me a face mask. I'll be good.
A face, yeah, face mask. Face mask for Ultra. A beanie or a hat for Scouty.
Yeah, like we didn't see any like outside the typical mask in the customization video. They didn't talk about any hats or anything like sunglasses and stuff like that.
We didn't see any bullshit ones where you basically just gotta go around in a hat.
Yeah, like we saw some bullshit mask, but for now. Oh yeah, also they did announce some DLC. Actually, let me see if I can. I don't know. I think there was some video out about that. Let me quickly look it up.
You know, get like a face mask would be funny. A hat or a beanie would be funny. Of course, I want my sunglasses to return. The tiara. Really want the tiara to come back, as I just think it was hilarious using that as a mask.
Okay, we did get a final preview actually from IGN right here.
Oh no, not IGN.
This is recent. They uploaded it like 15 hours ago.
Payday 3 comes with a laundry list of decisions that players will have to answer quickly when walking into the next job.
Yes.
Mask off or on, creep around corners and avoid armed confrontation, or bust in guns blazing. Engage in a hostage negotiation to buy some time, or power through as quickly as possible. After 10 years and more than 200 updates since the Payday gang infiltrated Washington, D.C., and after acquiring a few new associates along the way, the crew is picking up where they left off and heading for the greater New York City metropolitan area for Payday 3. Even crossing the Hudson River for a sting in New Jersey. They may have learned a few more tricks of the trade, but it's up to the player to utilize them effectively. And more often than not, going in with the goal of pulling off a job under the radar ends in reluctantly busting out guns. One false move is all it takes to blow it.
Yeah, definitely want to get some more, like, young heisters in the crew.
As much as I wanted to take advantage of the stealth tactics introduced here, I usually ended up bungling it by taking too long to pick a lock or being caught by a security camera I didn't spot. Much like a real-world heist, not that
I think we'll get new heisters.
All of the minutiae must be carefully accounted for to pull off a job as smooth as a Danny Ocean plan. At least the Payday games haven't exactly
interesting gun skin.
Players to
gotta
take
say.
a gentle approach to
robbery.
So when things go south, my team was ready to mow down endless waves of NYPD for the biggest take we could manage.
Yes. That is,
In 2 heists, I played alongside 2 other human players, and an AI character was our 4th. Though half of the time, the AI's contributions were useless. In one particularly heinous moment halfway through our second game, the AI literally just stood there in the middle of a high-stakes shootout. Other times, it came through for a down player with a medkit. But based on the inconsistency, I recommend linking up with other people, either locally or online, with microphones. As always, good communication is paramount to ensure things go well, and the quick replies won't really cut it here.
Be a lot more platforming,
Yelling,
though.
"Shit" is fun, but it's not exactly directionally helpful to teammates.
Limited movement.
Well, we can have more verticality for sure.
Even so, things mostly did not go smoothly for us, which I chalk up to being dumped into the game with no tutorial or cutscene to get a better sense of the mission. Before
there's
the Capital Bank heist we previously previewed, and the new one stealing degradable electronic components in a container shipping yard in Bayonne, New Jersey, commissioned by a character played by Ice-T.
Interesting.
A ready screen laden with paragraphs
of
text
it degrades
presenting
in,
information
and
about the
then you
assignment.
see a meter.
But since we were playing on
you
the
gotta be
clock,
fast with that
I
stuff.
skimmed, making our objectives probably more confusing than it needed to be. A regular playthrough will almost certainly not be this overwhelming.
Yes, it will.
Oh yeah, I was about to say, oh yes it will.
Okay, that's nice. I do appreciate
The
the
shipping
vaulting.
yard especially proved to be a doozy. It's less straightforward than the familiar bank heist, as the map was a maze of stacked shipping containers, some that led to a dead end, and others that had unlockable latches that weren't immediately clear in the middle of a cop siege. Though it makes for frenzied
I'm gonna
gameplay,
presume they're gonna have like
it's
the shipping yard having confusing layouts?
Luckily, if we blew the
Has he
mission
never been in the real world before?
we could vote to restart on the menu screen. That said, blasting your way
the
out of
same
trouble
game journalist
isn't
that gave the One
difficult,
Piece
save
live
for a
action
sporadic
a 6 out of
ninja-like
10.
super cop who can
Because
use
that too
powerful
much source
Otherwise,
material
most
in
of
it.
the enemy NPCs
Ridiculous.
are fairly
They
slow
gave all the
and
other
dumb,
live
and the
action
reload
ones that didn't
speeds
follow source
usually
material a
didn't
higher
turn me into
score.
a sitting duck.
Yeah.
But if enough
And they
of
were
them
bad.
congregate, it gets harder to
Like Cowboy
escape
Bebop.
simply based on the
They
sheer
gave that a
power
7.
of numbers.
Yeah.
Alright. Also,
what was he shooting at?
Full of opportunities
There
to
was a
get
cop
deep
there.
in the weeds.
Oh, okay.
What was there?
Payday,
like way in the back, but like he did tag him.
Oh, okay, yeah, I see it.
Yep.
I see him.
Payday 3
He ain't that
is
stupid.
full of opportunities to get
I
deep
don't know,
in the
this is
weeds.
IGN.
At launch, 6 playable characters will be available, including stalwarts Dallas, Hoxton, Chains, and Wolf, and later Payday 2 editions Pearl and Joy, though neither of the
What's
latter
Pearl?
two were
I
options in
don't
my
remember that.
preview. But prime examples of
I
these
know.
endless wells are the enormous skill tree, weapon and item loadout, customized outfits and masks and skins, which, again, I barely had time to really dig into because of the sheer breadth of options and limited time constraints. Rest assured, an optimal combination for every type of player
Yeah,
exists
we'll have more time during
if
the
they're
beta.
willing to invest the time and real-world money for add-ons. Starbreeze has promised another lengthy campaign for Payday 3, at least as long as the last game. And with big plans like that for heists across the tri-state area, we'll be raking in New York City's boatloads of cash and various
will they let them
paraphernalia
go?
for years and years.
I gotta see it.
For
No,
more
I didn't see
previews
it.
of this fall's biggest games, don't
Darn.
miss our hands-on preview of Super Mario Bros. Wonder and Ghost Runner 2.
Alright.
And for everything else in the world of video games,
that's
stick
it.
with IGN.
So no DLC, I guess, was announced there.
No, they announced. They said 4 DLCs. They didn't say it in this one, but I saw it on the Twitter,
Sure.
and it was confirmed. People thought it was 8 or something. Mm-hmm.
I do not like IGN. I think.
Oh yeah, no. I just.
There's a reason why everyone does the joking IGN 10 out of 10. We understand entirely.
Oh yeah, here it is. Year 1's roadmap has been revealed. Let me see if I can find. Okay, we might need to check out this one channel that covers a bunch of Payday stuff.
There's a bunch of channels that cover Payday stuff.
Specifically, Red Anchor Live.
Ladies and
I have
gentlemen, it's
watched
another
a
day
couple
with
of this
more
guy's
Payday
videos.
3 news, and this one is very, very interesting. The first thing I want to just talk about and get
I'll
out of the way
skip
very
ahead.
quickly is that there is a new trailer for Pearl and
Because I
too
just want to show
short,
off
but
the
thing that I
roadmap
really
from
want to
this.
focus on is an image that is this image.
Yeah.
Year 1, the Bad Apple. It's a roadmap for
Here it
all
is.
future content for Payday 3
So,
within the
first 4
year
DLCs.
of release. So from September 2023 to September
Mhm.
2024. So I want to break it down, talk
Here
about it
you
because there
agree,
is
the land of the
a lot
free
here.
and
There's a lot.
boys
I mean,
in
I've got
blue.
my side window here, so if you see me looking across, that's
Six
why I'm
or
doing that. But this was
Boys
just
in
shared
Blue,
at
the
same
Land
time
of
as
the
Pearl
Free,
Joy's
and then
trailer. I think some
Aaron Reed
influences
is
went
number
to the
4.
clown-based
Okay.
event in New York, which
Both
blinded
Boys in
multiple
Blue and
people
Land of the
to
Free
go
are the
and see
ones
the
that I'm
release of
actually
Joy
interested in.
Pearl as the new characters,
Yeah, I'm
the
interested
reveal
in
of them.
Boys in the
I think they
Blue as
also got
well.
given collector's editions
I'm
and got to
interested
see
in
the
Syntax syntax error.
But it seems like the embargo's lifted for them to talk about it, and that's why we've got this roadmap.
That
We've got
seems
4
intriguing.
key sections in terms of
And of course,
timeline,
fear and
but also
greed.
a whole bunch underneath and additional content. We'll start first on the big things. So winter 2023, we're going to get DLC number 1 called Syntax Error. Spring 2024, DLC 2, Boys in Blue. Summer 2024, DLC 3, The Land of the Free. And Fall 2024, DLC 4, Fear and Greed. Immediately, this screams to me like mini campaigns, like for Texas Heat, where you had kind of like a Lost in Transit chapter, where there was a weapon pack, an outfit pack, a heist, and you'd move on from there. So maybe it's going to be the Syntax Error bundle, the Boys packs, 4 Taylor packs, 4 heists. So I imagine one of each of those will be included in each of these chunks of content. So there may be mini passes within that. I really don't know how far they're going to push this, but it does suggest that if you buy the Silver Edition of Payday 2, you'll probably get the first 2 DLCs, so Syntax Error and Boys in Blue, the first 2 groups with that, and Gold Edition is all of this because it's the first year. It does say, of course, names and dates are subject to change, but I guess we'll see. They're confident enough to run with them, so they may not change.
The bad
Interestingly, just kind of like surmising what I can from the pictures.
I gotta check when are they releasing the
maybe
demo.
Tech-based heist, the first chapter, something to do with raiding
So that's
police
interesting
station,
because it's called the Bad Apple for year one. That tells me maybe it's someone specific you're targeting. Potentially a former Payday member.
Let me see.
Because you know the old saying.
Bad apple spoils the bunch.
Yep.
Peggy 18.
Well, actual game won't be out till in 13 days, actually.
Yep, September 21st.
Yep.
Wow. So, I'm just trying to think, which heister would betray the Payday gang?
Well, there was only one I think that literally legitimately did, and they
that was a contractor and Hector, and of course the dentist. But no, those are contractors. If it's a specific heister, I'm thinking because that would be an interesting way of doing it. Which heister would betray the gang?
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
Houston.
Because he got fucked over before?
No, that's Hoxton was fucked over. No, Houston was brought in as Hoxton's replacement, remember? And he was Dallas's brother.
That would make sense then, because he was put back in the fucking back burner.
Yeah.
But even then, it's kind of like he saw them do what they like do to fucking traitors and shit.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's kind of like if that didn't put the fear of the Payday gang into his heart already, it's kind of like I don't know what will.
They didn't mention Houston though, so that could be it.
Because Hoxton's back. He's part of Core 4 with Wolf, Dallas, Chains, right? They were the original 4 heisters. And then Hoxton was caught, and the gang was betrayed, right?
Yeah.
And so they bust him out of prison and everything. So, but Houston could be resentful. His place is when the mains was taken away. He was given this and this to do, right? And
you know that's
as part of the true ending. I don't remember what he did in part of the true ending. Because
it is indeed a possibility.
Let me check its fandom page.
That's what I'm doing right now.
Okay. Right. I forgot that he used Hoxton's original mask.
Yes, he did.
He probably still has that, doesn't he?
No, I think he gave it back.
Did he? Because looking at the mask in Payday 3, it seems like yeah, he's still rocking his current mask that he had. Hold on, let me check.
I'm just saying, if Houston's literally gonna all of a sudden go from like being part of the gang to just straight up betraying them, he's one stupid son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Well, well, think about this for a second too. Originally, he was in charge of maintaining the escape van until Russ joined the crew, and then Russ started maintaining the vehicles.
So either he's maintaining vehicles again or something.
Who knows?
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, that'll definitely be interesting. Yeah, I'll see you guys for like the beta, I guess, tomorrow.
I'm ready. I don't care what this fucking sickness is gonna try to beat my ass down to. I am getting that fucking beta played.
Yep, same here. All right.
I mean, I'll play if I can, but I do have commitment tomorrow night, and so do you, Scouty.
Oh yeah, that is true.
I'll still cover it though.
Of
all
course.
In all. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be good practice. Especially by myself.
I will see you two later though.
Yes, take care.
Yeah.
Yep, later.